You want to know how stressed out the fight scenes in this movie makes me feel? That's stressed out. Warrior, released in 2011 and is directed by Gavin O'Connor, who's also directed such films as The Accountant and another amazing sports film, Miracle. And he's also signed on to write and direct the sequel to Suicide Squad, if that's ever happening. The film stars Tom Hardy, Joel Edgerton, Frank Grillo, Jennifer Morrison, and Nick Nolte. We also get an appearance by Olympic gold medalist Kurt Angle, who won the Olympics with a broken freaking neck. And this is episode 83 of Caleb Watches Movies. We are making our way ever so closely to episode 100, and today we are talking about my favorite sports movie. Now, when it comes to my favorite sports movie, really there are so many that could have fell under this category. You could have gone like anyone to my childhood, like Rookie of the Year, The Sandlot, The Mighty Ducks, or you can go a little bit more contemporary with Remember the Titans or Miracle, another Gavin O'Connor film. But I remember in 2012 picking up this movie, watching it on my laptop in bed, and just being a complete mess at the end of the movie. I just remember thinking, wow, this is incredible. They're taking the sport of MMA, which we really haven't seen at all in theatrical released films, and they're making a film that you can relate to, that you are getting behind. I mean, this was absolutely amazing. I was emotionally involved, and I really cared about everyone that was in this movie. Tom Hardy and Joel Edgerton play two distant brothers who have experience in mixed martial arts. And these brothers haven't seen each other in many, many years due to a huge fallout between their parents. Tom Hardy's character joined the Marines, and Joel Edgerton's character got married and now is a chemistry teacher at a high school. But both of them have stumbled upon financial hardships and are trying to make ends meet. Enter the Tournament of Sparta, which is a mixed martial art tournament, winner take all. Whoever wins the thing gets $6 million. So in order to make ends meet and to support their family, they both enter the Sparta tournament to win the cash prize. Thinking about it, it's kind of a straightforward, almost like Rocky story, but with MMA. You have an underdog, at least in this case you have two underdogs that are really down in the dumps, and they're trying to just win some money or just win some fame so that they would be able to have a house or give it to someone that they really care about. And the impressive thing with this movie from Gavin O'Connor is that you care about both of these brothers. They both enter this tournament and you want both of them to win. You probably lean more so to the side of Joel Edgerton just because he has a wife, he has a family, he has two kids, he has a home that he's just trying to save. Whereas Tom Hardy's character, he's very introverted, he's very secluded, he comes off as an asshole almost the majority of the time, but when you find out the reasons why he's entering this tournament, you root for him. I mean, I really couldn't pick right now who I side with more or who I liked more in this movie. Their character arcs are beautiful. They're so detailed, but yet they don't spell everything out for you. They leave room for you to kind of fill in the gaps here and there, which is something that I really love when films have the guts to do that. Really, this film is all about guts. This is a very gutsy film. The way that this movie is structured, the first half of it, it's all character development. We find out the relationship, we find out about the family, we find out about all the financial hardships. And then the second half of this movie, it is straight MMA fights. Which from my own viewing experience, watching MMA, it's not the most entertaining thing. Yes, there are some fights that end in like 48 seconds or like 20 seconds when someone just does a roundhouse kick and the guy is knocked out. But the majority of them that go, the full length of time or like to 3 minutes to 5 minutes, it gets pretty boring because they're in a submission hold almost the entire time. But this film manages to make that entertaining, all due thanks in part to the cinematography. Yes, there's a lot of shaky cam in here, but it really works in this environment. And you need that, particularly when you're inside the cage and they're grappling, they're punching, they're kicking each other, they're slamming each other down on the mat. You kind of need that handheld camera to make you feel like you're actually in there and you're feeling the impact of the blows. But it's also due in part to the enormous workout regimen that Joel Edgerton and Tom Hardy put themselves into. They're getting into this cage with world elite athletes like Kurt Angle, and when Kurt Angle says, yeah, they did fantastic, they busted their ass, I was really impressed, that's high praise. I mean, have you seen the poster? Have you seen Tom Hardy's trapezius muscle? I mean, Jesus. And another standout stellar performance that I found surprising in this movie was Frank Grillo. Holy crap, I want him to be my trainer. After seeing this movie, I would put his character up with the top, trainers in any sports movie. He's a very unorthodox trainer. He plays a lot of classical music in the background of his training gym. And I don't know if he took classes from Jimmy Hart or Bobby the Brain Heenan, but him outside of the cage cheering on Joel Edgerton is just... that's what gets you into the film, too. He really knows how to motivate him as well. Why are we here? Why are we here? You want to go home? Do we want to go home? Because if you're going to go home, I'm going to throw in the tile right now. But just so you know, if you don't knock this guy out, you don't have a home. This film is just one big, just tension building on a ruler, just bending and bending and bending, and there's absolutely no release at any point until you get to the climax of this movie between this huge fight. And I'm trying not to spoil anything because this tournament that they're in, it is 8 fighters, winner take all, single round tournament. And I don't want to spoil, who wins or who moves on, because when I saw the trailer originally in 2011, it does spoil that. So I will recommend, if you're going to watch this movie, just watch the movie. Don't watch the trailer beforehand, even though it came out 7 years ago. Jennifer Morrison is fantastic in this movie as the worried wife of Joel Edgerton. And you tend to see this cliche in sports movies where, the athlete is gonna, go for the gold, and to do that, they kind of have to sacrifice their time at home. And then the spouse, the girlfriend, the wife is all worried, and it's like, oh, I don't want you to do it. I want you to be home with me and spend time with me. Which is a completely understandable notion, but in this movie, she has that, but then she also realizes, well, he kind of has to do this for us to survive and us to, support our kids, so yeah, I'm going to allow it to do it. Unlike characters like Adrian in the Rocky movies that really never believed in Rocky. Such a selfish character. And I know I'm in the minority with that one, but God, I hate that character. And another character that you love to hate is Nick Nolte in this film. He's a recovering alcoholic, and you don't know exactly what he did to Edgerton and Hardy's character when they were kids, but whatever it was, it completely separated the family. And it just planted the seed of all of that built-up aggression and tension between the two brothers. And he has a great story arc as well. Yes, he is an asshole. You really don't want to root for him, but you can tell that he's trying to make amends. He's trying to make himself into a better person, which no matter how you look at it, you kind of have to respect. It's just things like that that just make this film so spectacular. It's a perfect storm of just character development and story and cinematography and action scenes and fight scenes, and then just real drama between this family. It's spectacular to watch. In the end, guys, if you can't already tell, Warrior is my favorite sports film. It is spectacular. Everyone needs to see this movie. And it's a little upsetting and a little disheartening that a lot of people have not seen this movie, which I'm just why? You are doing yourself a disservice. I guarantee you will be emotionally involved and you will love this movie. Regardless, even if you like MMA or if you've never watched it or have no interest in it, you will love this movie. My wife is one of those people. She doesn't care at all about MMA or UFC or anything like that. When she watched this movie, she was in tears as well. Because again, this movie does such a great job of getting you to care for everyone in here. You want everyone to succeed, and it's pulling you apart seeing these two different people fighting in this tournament. But once again, I couldn't recommend this movie enough. If you haven't seen it, please go watch it. You won't regret it. So I'm gonna give Warrior 5 out of 5 Blu-rays.
All right, let's get it.
And next time is going to be episode 84 of Caleb Watches Movies, where we're going to be discussing a movie that has my favorite quote. Now, for your hint, I'm not going to give you that quote. No, I'm going to actually save it for the movie review. But your clue for that movie, I guess, would be something like, "Oh, Captain, my Captain." That's an obvious hint if you've ever seen one. So, everyone, have you seen Warrior? What did you think about it? Or if you've never seen it before and you stumbled across it because of this video, I'm extremely happy and honored. Please, comment below, let me know what you thought about it. And when you're done commenting, please like and subscribe to my channel so you know the next time I post my next movie review. So everyone, I will see you next time with a movie that contains my favorite quote. In the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.